This much, however, our pointman was able to gather from our foreman, that the two men were members of a detachment of Rangers who had been sent as a result of information given by the first herd over the trail that year. This herd, which had passed some 20 days ahead of us, had met with a stampede below the river, and on reaching Abilene had reported the presence of rustlers preying on through herds at the crossing of the Colorado. On reaching the camp that evening with the herd, we found 10 of the Rangers as our guests for the night. The detachment was under a corporal named Joe Hames, who had detailed 2 of the men we had met during the afternoon to scout this crossing. Upon the information afforded by our foreman about the would-be trail cutters, these scouts, accompanied by Flood, had turned back to advise the Ranger squad, encamped in a secluded spot about 10 miles northeast of the Colorado crossing. They had only arrived late the day before, and this was their first meeting with any trail herd to secure any definite information. Hames at once assumed charge of the herd, Flood gladly rendering every assistance possible. We night herded as usual, but during the 2 middle guards, Hames sent out 4 of his Rangers to scout the immediate outlying country, though as we expected, they met with no adventure. At daybreak, the Rangers threw their packs into our wagon and their loose stock into our remuda, and riding up the trail a mile or more, left us, keeping well out of sight. We were all hopeful now that the trail cutters of the day before would make good their word and return. In this hope, we killed time for several hours that morning grazing the cattle and holding the wagon in the rear. Sending the wagon ahead of the herd had been agreed on as the signal between our foreman and the Ranger corporal, at first sight of any posse behind us. We were beginning to despair of their coming when a dust cloud appeared several miles back down the trail. We at once hurried the wagon and remuda ahead to warn the Rangers, and allowed the cattle to string out nearly a mile in length. A fortunate rise in the trail gave us a glimpse of the cavalcade in our rear, which was entirely too large to be any portion of Straw's outfit, and shortly we were overtaken by our trail cutters of the day before, now increased to 22 mounted men. Flood was intentionally in the lead of the herd, and the entire outfit galloped forward to stop the cattle. When they had nearly reached the lead, Flood turned back and met the rustlers. "Well, I'm as good as my word," said the leader, "and I'm here to trim your herd, as I promised I would. Throw off and hold up your cattle, or I'll do it for you." Several of our outfit rode up at this juncture in time to hear Flood reply, "If you think you're equal to the occasion, hold them up yourselves. If I had as big an outfit as you have, I wouldn't ask any man to help me. I want to watch a Colorado River outfit work a herd. I might learn something. My outfit will take a rest, or perhaps hold the cut or otherwise clerk for you. Be careful and don't claim anything that you are not certain is your own, for I reserve the right to look over your cut before you drive it away." The rustlers rode in a body to the lead, and when they had thrown the herd off the trail, about half of them rode back and drifted forward the rear cattle. Flood called our outfit to one side and gave us our instructions, the herd being entirely turned over to the rustlers. After they began cutting, we rode around and pretended to assist in holding the cut as the strays in our herd were being cut out. When the red Q cow came out, Fox cut her back, which nearly precipitated a row, for she was promptly recut to the strays by the man who claimed her the day before. Not a man of us ever cast a glance up the trail or in the direction of the Rangers, but when the work was over, Flood protested with the leader of the rustlers over some 5 or 6 head of dim branded cattle which actually belonged to our herd. But he was exultant and would listen to no protest, and attempted to drive away the cut, now numbering nearly 50 head. Then we rode across their front and stopped them. In this parley which ensued, harsh words were passing, when one of our outfit blurted out in well-feigned surprise, "Hello, who's that coming over there?" A squad of men were riding leisurely through our abandoned herd, coming over to where the 2 outfits were disputing. "What's the trouble here, gents?" inquired Hames as he rode up. "Who are you, and what might be your business, may I ask?" inquired the leader of the rustlers. Personally, I'm nobody, but officially I'm Corporal in Company B, Texas Rangers. Well, if there isn't Smiling Ed Winters, the biggest cattle thief ever born in Medina County. Why, I've got papers for you for altering the brands of over 50 head of C cattle into a G brand. Come here, dear, and give me that gun of yours. Come on, and no false moves or funny work, or I'll shoot the white out of your eye. Surround this layout, lads, and let's examine them more closely." At this command, every man in our outfit whipped out his six-shooter, the Rangers leveling their carbines on the rustlers, and in less than a minute's time they were disarmed and as crestfallen a group of men as ever walked into a trap of their own setting. Hames got out a black book, and after looking the crowd over, concluded to hold the entire covey, as the description of the wanted seemed to include most of them. Some of the rustlers attempted to explain their presence, but Hames decided to hold the entire party, just to learn them to be more careful of their company the next time, as he put it. The cut had drifted away into the herd again during the arrest, and about half our outfit took the cattle on to where the wagon camped for noon. McCann had anticipated an extra crowd for dinner and was prepared for the emergency. When dinner was over and the Rangers had packed and were ready to leave, Hames said to Flood, "Well, Flood, I'm powerful glad I met you and your outfit. This has been one of the biggest roundups for me in a long time. You don't know how proud I am over this bunch of beauties. Why, there's liable to be enough rewards out for this crowd to buy my girl a new pair of shoes. And say, when your wagon comes into Abilene, if I ain't there, just drive around to the sheriff's office and leave those captured guns. I'm sorry to load your wagon down that way, but I'm short of pack mules, and it would be a great favor to me. Besides, these fellows are not liable to need any guns for some little time. I like your company and your chuck, Flood, but you see how it is. The best of friends must part, and then I have an invitation to take dinner in Abilene by tomorrow noon, so I must be a-riding. Adios, everybody." End of chapter 7.